What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the NBA Rumor Mill with me, Mike Zakarian, as we continue to spread around the NBA gossip heading around the league. Hey, if it's your first time joining us, though, do me a favor before we get started, before we get into that hot goss, hit the subscribe, the like button, the notification bell, do all that good stuff to make my heart feel warm. Speaking of a heartwarming story, how about that for a transition? Dame time. Dame time's heading home, huh? 3 years, $42 million. I'm gonna be honest, that is about 35 more million than I thought he was going to get. I thought I had this all figured out for the last couple of days. Ooh, Dame is going to take less money to go get a ring, to play on a competitive team, and then everyone's going to discredit that ring because no one likes happiness. And then instead, he decides to go home because his old lover, the Portland Trail Blazers, decided to overpay him. And now, instead of giving him credit for, instead of it hating on him for going and getting the like Make-A-Wish ring, now we're gonna hate on him for not having that dog in him. He cares more about money than he does about winning. I honestly think this is a nice conclusion to everything. My betting money was that he was gonna go to the Boston Celtics. It seemed like there was real smoke, real buzz around that. Even Vegas was like Dame's most likely outcome is to head to Boston. Golden State was there, Bay Area kid. Maybe he goes and plays with Steph with the AARP Golden State Warriors, but instead, I don't know what the Trailblazers are doing, but I do know what Dame is doing because I really thought he was going to get like Bradley Beal money. 2 years, $11 million, like 3 years, 18, something like that. I thought it was going to be in that range, but for 3 for 42, just a straight fleecing. And I don't know. Was this Portland Trailblazers' way, Joe Cronin, the GM, was this their way of apologizing for trading him to Milwaukee to begin with? Because if you remember, not only was it reported on when it went down, it was also reported on a few weeks into the move, and then a year later, is that Dame really did not want to go to Milwaukee. And then it like messed him up like emotionally and mentally after he made that move. Like he was away from his kids, was going through a divorce, right? All of that stuff that was reported on. He wanted to go to Miami. That's where he was trying to maneuver. Miami fans still really upset at the Pacific Northwest for how that went down. So I don't know if the Trailblazers were like, hey, my bad. You know what, Dame? You know what? Nothing says sorry like some cash dollars. So Dame time, 3 years, $42 million. I don't know what Portland's doing though, like on the court, right? The reason they moved off Dame to begin with was when they had, was it the number 3 overall pick? They went and took Scoot Henderson because he was supposed to be the Dame heir apparent. Now, Scoot's gotten off to a little bit of a slow start. He showed some nice progress at the end of last season, but has definitely not been what has been promised, right? But you got this like young team that consists of Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, Tamani Kamara, the Chinese Jokic, and Hassan Yang, Donovan Clingan. But then you've got like Drew Holiday, Dame, and Jeremy Grant. So they're paying some vets a lot of money that I don't know. Like Dame's not even playing this year. Like he doesn't have that miracle. Like everybody's talking about Jason Tatum's Achilles tear, and they're like, he got that surgery so fast, though. He got that surgery so fast, he actually might be back in February. No one's saying that about Dame because he's a lot older, right? So you're paying him that. He's not even playing this year. Now, I know Milwaukee like covers some of that contract, but I don't know. I was pretty surprised all around. I don't know if this necessarily makes Portland. I know I was listening to Kevin O'Connor of Yahoo Sports. He seems pretty excited about the move. I don't know, man. I don't know. Does this really move the needle for the Trailblazers? Be curious to hear what you guys think in the chat. So let me know. Let me know. Which, by the way, as I mentioned in the chat, do me like get active in the chat because that last block, as we start growing, as the algo starts boosting the rumor mill, we'll start using your chat for that last block to respond to some of those questions. Let's get some Eastern European love, huh? Let's try to. World peace. That's what we're rooting for here. What if Luka and Jokic team up? So. Like I know they can't have the contract extensions yet with Luka in LA, but man, I feel like it's weird that it hasn't been like considered a foregone conclusion. There's been no rumors, no reporting. Now, most likely the Lakers do offer him an extension, but they don't have the benefit of like what Dallas did, right? Where Dallas, when he was on the Lakers, because that was the team he was on, All NBA, all that stuff, right? They had the ability to just massively overpay him. The Lakers don't have that option. And so if Luka, especially if this year is a little funky, right? LeBron already throwing out some weird stuff. He's had some weird energy, whether it's his comments or alleged comments about like the Lakers front office after the Russ situation, or not wanting to be in this like rebuild mode because he's 40, even though he opted into his contract. Between that, and then if you remember, former Laker legend Dorian Finney-Smith, the Dodo, some call him, Dorian Finney-Smith, who was Luka's teammate in Dallas, who was so excited to team back up with him in LA when he got traded mid-year, chose to go to Houston because of how the Lakers front office handled it. If you remember, supposedly, allegedly, Mr. Rob Pelinka and the brass of the Lakers were talking a little trash. They were saying some trash. They were like, "Oh, Dorian Finney-Smith's knee's actually kind of bad. His knee's pretty dinged up." And the reason they were doing that is so they would not have to pay Dorian Finney-Smith as much. They were trying to keep that price down so that other teams aren't going for it. Well, guess what? When you talk trash like that, word gets around. Word gets around. They don't trust the Rob Lowe and the leather jacket, Mr. Pelinka. Word gets around. Dorian Finney-Smith found out, ends up taking less money that he could have gotten from LA to go to Houston. So if you're Luka, you're like, all right, LeBron, so much for the mentorship. Like, LeBron's already kind of making waves here. You've already been ruined by Nico Harrison, right? Do you want another toxic environment? They messed up your friend here that make you worse. Like, Dorian Finney-Smith was going to be a very important part of this Lakers team. Now, what if the Lakers go out there and finish like 6th in the West? Right? Because OKC, obviously, they signed all their guys. They're going to be even better. Chet and J-Dub are like 19. They're not that 19, but they're super young. Still going to get better, right? So OKC got better. Houston got one of your guys. They got Kevin Durant. Houston got a lot better. San Antonio, all of a sudden, the circling the wagon around the Spurs. The Clippers just got Bradley Beal for basically free, right? They also got John Collins. Like, all of these teams around you are getting better. If Anthony Edwards could make another leap. Timberwolves, they already just crushed you in the playoffs, essentially bringing back the same team outside of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. If the Lakers finish like 6th or 7th, then get bounced in the first round, do you think Luka's really like, well, I want to be in Hollywood? Like, I don't know how Luka feels about LA. And we know the Denver Nuggets. We know Nikola Jokic and Luka are boys. What if they team up? Now, if they do team up, that team's going to score 160 points a game, but they're also going to give up 155 points a game. But that would be an incredible team. And the reason I'm rooting for that has less to do with them playing together. It's more for Lakers hate. Can you just imagine the Laker fandom, man? Somehow they'd make this about Kobe. Like, Kobe would have never done that. It just would have been good. It'd be great. I hope we see it. Speaking of the Lakers, though, let's do one more take on them. The retirement tour. That's what the rumors are now. So LeBron, who, again, all these are leaks from Rich Paul to Shams, we can assume, right? I saw Rich Paul at NBA Summer League, by the way, just fresh off of the Vegas trip. He's sitting courtside in the 2 games that I saw, and he might as well have been running for president. He might as well. He was out there. He dapped up every single person he saw, but made sure he did it in front of the camera. Like, he could tell, like, the lights were bright. They were on him, and so he's like, oh, what's up, baby? What's up? Just, like, he did everything but kiss babies out there. So he might as well be running for office. But, so the reports were earlier that I think from Shams' camp that LeBron, it's not is LeBron going to play this year and next year? Is he going to play till he's, like, 45? Does he get that Tom Brady in him? Hopefully not the weird kisses. But does he have that Brady in him? And now, according to Clutch Points, which, again, I don't know when the last time Clutch Points got a scoop on something and was right, so let's keep that in mind. But according to Clutch Points, this could be a Kobe-esque retirement tour that maybe LeBron, before the season starts, maybe he's, like, seeing the future, and he's like, do I want to put myself through this and make, like, $10 million a year? Because we know this is the last year of his contract, right? He's going to be an unrestricted free agent. Does he want to do this for 10 years? For $10 million a year. Does he want, and like, if not, does he actually want to leave LA at this point, right? His kids, his family, everybody lives out there, he enjoys being out there, his business is out there. So does he really want to put himself through that, staying in LA, playing on a team that seems to be a little, shut up Britney Spears, toxic? So I don't know, maybe he's had a shift in the wind. As you get older, it doesn't take much. Speaking of somebody who's the same age as LeBron, man, sometimes, I sneeze funny, and I'm like, wow, I guess I can't go out tonight. So maybe that's what happened to LeBron. Went to Summer League, had one late night in Vegas. He went to see Nas and was like, God, man, you know what would be cool? Staying home. So anyways, they're reporting that we might be on the precipice of a LeBron James retirement tour, which would be obnoxious. And I think all retirement tours are obnoxious, to throw that out there. I think like we can appreciate we don't have to do that 82 times. That's so many times we got to do it. Especially when you play teams multiple times. Like we don't have to do a retirement tour every single game. I remember when they did it for Kobe. They've done it for so many stars. I don't want to make this a Kobe thing, but and I'm sure the Kobe fans, because they're rabid, they will go out there and be like, why is LeBron? Kobe's way better than LeBron. Why is he even doing that? He's copying LeBron. Same thing when they did it with Tatum, by the way. That's the thing that drives me nuts, right? All of those Kobe worshipers would do the same thing. They probably get the armbands that say 24, maybe a tattoo on their on their back that says like Mamba mentality. But then Tatum, who was built from the same cloth as you dork saying that, does the same thing, and you're like, oh, poser, copier. Like, you be doing the same thing. Oh, man, what a fun little tangent there. We'll call it there, though. I don't think we got anything else for today. That's the goss. That's the hot goss. So we got Dame going home. We got maybe a Luka Jokic, Eastern European love matchmaking in the making. And then LeBron James maybe going on the retirement tour. That being said, it'll be weird when LeBron is out the game. It will be weird. Appreciate everybody hanging out today. Hope you enjoyed the show. If it's your first time here and you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and get involved in the comments so we can make this show a little bit longer where I can read off some of your, alpha big brain takes. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.